This recording will show you what the students see when they look in their Google Docs and the folders that they have available to them to share documents with each of their classes. So here we are in the student portal, and what they'll do is just click on the link to the left to their Google Docs, and this will then take them into their Google Docs account. Now I'm going to point out one thing here just so that you're aware of it. Google is going to be switching from their past Google Docs over to what's called Google Drive. Now this student has already converted over to Google Drive, and we can kind of close this box, and this is what they're basically seeing. These are the folders for each of their classes that they turn their documents into. Now if I open up my drive here, I see these folders listed here. And so if the student were to have new documents, they can then share those documents by, in this case like the presentation, dragging that into their shared folder. So if I click here, you'll note that there are two documents that this student has shared with the teacher in the exploratory class. They turned in this letter that was created by that student, and also there's this shared presentation that they've turned in that they've been contributing to. Now, those documents do not show here because in this new interface, when a document is dragged into an existing folder, it no longer appears under the Google Drive. If they want to see documents that they've worked on, they can click on Recent, and this will show all the documents that they've edited recently, and so they can see the documents that they have created. In this case, a new presentation, this document that was shared, and this presentation that they were working on. The nice thing about this is it's a much cleaner look for the students and doesn't have a lot of the confusion of having all these documents, etc. Now again, all a student has to do to turn in a document to any of their classes is once they've created the document and they have it in their list, they just grab the document and drag it to the shared folder, and that way they turn it in. When the document appears in that class folder, it automatically shows up in the teacher dashboard for the teacher. So again, the students have a shared folder for each of their classes, and these are the folders that are shared between the teacher and this individual student. No one else has access to these folders except the individual student here and the teacher. So when they put a document in this folder, the only one that has access to it is the teacher. Unless, like in this case, this is a shared document with everyone in the class. So everyone in the class has the rights to edit the document. But in this case, when the student turned in this letter to Mrs. Stark as an assignment, only the teacher gets to see this letter and the student. If the student wants to see changes to the document and they click on Recent and see the document, they can open it up and see any comments that the teacher has added to the document. So again, what the student sees is a folder for each of their classes. That's where they turn their documents into. It's a very clean look when you're in Google Drive. Every student is going to eventually be converted, every student and teacher is going to be converted over to Google Drive in the not distant future. So I recommend that everybody go ahead and do it when they see the message that says, would you like to convert? Also up here at the top of the bar, I can say, okay, I want to see those documents that are not owned by me, which means that are shared with me. And so if I click on that, I can see this document was shared with me by the teacher, Mrs. Stark, and then I see all the different folders. If any other students had shared documents with me, I would see them here. And then if I go back to recent documents, I see all documents, including those shared with me. And if I just want to see my drive, I see what I've created in there but haven't yet put into a class folder. So these are documents that I as a student have created but have not been put into any other location or shared with anybody else. So that's a quick overview of what the student environment looks like and the folder structure for them to turn in documents.